In the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve stood trembling before their Creator, their hearts heavy with the weight of their disobedience. They had tasted the forbidden fruit, and now they faced the consequences of their actions. Adam and Eve trembled as they heard the divine decree. God spoke to Adam, his voice carrying the gravity of judgment.
Because you have listened to the voice of your wife and have eaten of the tree which I commanded you not to eat, cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you shall eat of it all the days of your life.
Adam's brow furrowed in sorrow as he realized the full extent of his punishment. No longer would the land yield its bounty freely. Instead, he would toil and sweat to coax sustenance from the unforgiving earth. To Eve, God turned next, his gaze piercing in its intensity.
I will surely multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be contrary to your husband, but he shall rule over you.
Eve's heart sank as she heard these words, knowing that the joy of motherhood would be tempered by the anguish of childbirth. The harmony she once shared with Adam would be marred by discord, their relationship forever altered by their disobedience. Finally, the serpent slithered forward, its once silken scales now dull and lifeless.
Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and above all beasts of the field. On your belly you shall go, and dust you shall eat all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel.
The serpent recoiled, its once proud form diminished by the weight of divine punishment. No longer would it bask in the sun's warmth or tread the earth with pride. Instead, it would crawl in the dust, forever cursed by its deception. With tender care, God fashioned garments of skin to clothe Adam and Eve, shielding their vulnerability and offering them a measure of comfort in their time of need. But even as he clothed them, God knew that the time had come for Adam and Eve to leave the paradise they had called home. With a heavy heart, he spoke words of judgment, banishing them from the Garden of Eden and the presence of the tree of life. Adam and Eve bowed their heads in sorrow as they listened to God's words, knowing that they could never return to the paradise they had lost. With tears in their eyes, they turned away from the garden, leaving behind the only home they had ever known. And as they left, God placed a flaming sword and cherubim at the entrance to the garden, guarding the way to the tree of life. And so, Adam and Eve embarked on a new journey, one filled with hardship and struggle, but also with the promise of redemption and grace. Though they had fallen from grace, they were not forsaken by God, who watched over them with unwavering love and compassion. Yet, even in their darkest hour, there remained a glimmer of hope. For within the depths of divine justice, there lay the promise of redemption, a chance for humanity to atone for its sins and find its way back to the God's grace.